Welcome everyone to the show. My name is Brian Boggins. This is episode 137. And today we're going to
137.
do a special thing. Got my coworker somewhere over here that way.
I'm
Co-worker.
I'm Jamal Smith. Welcome again. We're past Hump Day, so happy Thursday to everybody. One more day through the week, and hope you're having a great day. Today is going to be a good episode.
Usually you have me switched on. I was over on that side. That's why I started pointing that way. And you went, whoop. Okay, so we have a very special guest today. But before we do that, we're going to do quick announcements because we're changing the format so that you guys don't have to waste your time watching this for all the rest of the announcements later on after we talk to the guest. So we're going to do the announcements first, and then we're going to have the guest on. Stay tuned.
And we're only doing the announcements for the stuff coming up for this weekend, for this episode. We'll do everything tomorrow when we don't have a guest on, just an FYI. All right, let me remove this banner real quick. Whap, whap. And here we go. So the first flyer we want to actually talk about is the one that Brian had mentioned at the end of the show yesterday. It's the Eaton Fire Senior Summit Series. It's focusing on rebuilding with resilience. It's put on, it's going to be Saturday. I know it's not this weekend, but there's a deadline coming up soon. So we really wanted to focus on the deadline for you to be able to RSVP. Man, I'm sorry. I'm looking at this Am I looking at this right? It says the RSVP is the 18th.
I've gotten so many different things. I think the RSVP for vendors was probably the 20th, but the RSVP for participants is the 25th.
All right.
I pulled that up on in fact, I don't remember the.
No, I'll take your word for it. I'll just
here.
make sure we let the folks know. So the event is Saturday, August 2nd from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. It's going to be at the Pasadena Hilton, 168 South Los Robles Avenue in Pasadena. And what's going to happen is registration and breakfast will be from 8:30 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. The program is going to start promptly at 9:30. And then there's going to be the breakfast and the lunch along with the gift cards and swag bags will be provided. And there's going to be updates from the LA County Supervisor, Catherine Barger, as well as Pasadena District 1 City Councilman, Tyrone Hampton. They're going to actually provide comprehensive support for seniors and the community. So Brian actually put the link up there. The deadline is tomorrow, which is the 25th,
right. Mm-hmm.
not what shows on the flyer, which was last Friday or the 18th. So it's tomorrow. So make sure you click the link, AltadenaTalks.org/Eaton Fire Summit 2 to actually register. This is going to be a really good event.
Huge.
A lot of folks there. Very huge. How many women are going to be part of this?
About 50. In fact, let me share
where's
this
that
with
flyer?
you real quick. Give me a second to pull that up there real quick.
Mm-hmm.
I'll share my slides. And I see, I clicked on slides. I ain't trying to see slides.
slide, slipping and
slide. Forget about the troubles that you slide. Okay, so I'm gonna pick Okay, so these are the ladies that are going to be actually there for you. I'm not going to name them all, but if you click that link, you can see that. All you got to do is scroll all the way to the bottom of the link, and you'll see who's actually going to be hosting. As you notice, it's all ladies. In fact, one of my alumni that is going to be going to our reunion this year, Tamara Street, she's actually one of the hosts. And we get Jerry Suddeth, which is Jamal's homeboy's relative.
Oh, that's right.
There's a few people on here. So, I mean, I can zoom in on it, but it gets blurry as you zoom in. So
yeah, just click the link, the one that we're showing here, and you get all those details.
But there's the whole thing. I'm trying to make it as big as possible for us blind people. So it's hosted by Community Women Vital Voices and Neighborhood Housing Services. 25th, tomorrow's the last day to RSVP. It's not a hard form to fill out. You put your email, your full name, your phone number, who is your host, who invited you, your answer right there. So pick one of these ladies, or you can say Altadena Talks.
Yeah.
And then here's the workshops. Pick what you want to attend. And then your address of your home that was destroyed, not where you're currently living now, unless you're living back in the house that was probably smoke damaged or whatever, then put that address. And actually, they'll tell you right here. And then if you want to volunteer, they're going to need all that. So you got all that information right there. And what's the most urgent need for you and your family? Now, this is most important, because if you don't fill this out and you don't put the information, how can we help you? So, and if there's anybody else you know that need help, go to better support you or anything else, blah, 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 go there. How you hear about it, put that. And would you like to be a volunteer, put that. So not that hard. Save your responses so that you can come back later and change stuff if you made a mistake. But do it before the end of July 25th.
Yep.
There
July 25th, tomorrow. That is the last day.
And there you go. Oh, let me check that out.
Cool. So we only got a couple more so we can get to our special guest. So today, put on by LA Fire Justice, they actually have a business chat every Thursday from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And it's at Pinocchio's Pizza, which is located at 1449 North Lake Avenue in Pasadena. Join them for a weekly lunch hour, meet up with business owners and commercial property owners impacted by the fire. And they'll basically talk also about how the lawsuit can help restore what you built. If you want to register, you can go to lafirejustice.com/events to go ahead and register. And again, this is every Thursday. Found this one. I'm not sure how I missed it before, but Concerts in the Park. There's live music from Colby Cordell, which is going to be tomorrow at La Pintoresca Park from 6 to 9 p.m. I believe it's free. There's no way to probably charge folks, but go listen to some nice music then, which is tomorrow. And then we have the Concerts in the Park series at Loma Alta Park, put on by the Rotary Club of Altadena in cooperation with LA Parks and Rec. This is a free event that starts at 7 p.m. Tomorrow, there's going to be Fat Cat Swingers. Next Saturday will be Mariachi Divas, and the following Saturday, the 9th, will be Upstream.
We're gonna see Fat Cat Swinger. Fat Cat.
Yeah. Sorry, I had to adjust your mic. For some reason, it started doing that weird stuff again. You're good, though. And the last one for today. Remember, every remaining Saturday in July from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m., go ahead and head up to the Altadena Community Garden to help rebuild it. It's located at Palm Street and Lincoln Avenue. For those that didn't know, that's where it is. You're going to be able to participate in the myco remediation. That's where they sprinkle the mushrooms into the soil. It helps soak up all the toxins and neutralizes them and makes the soil good again for food. So masks are mandatory and other PPEs will be available. And then lunch and water is going to be provided to all the volunteers. Now, with that, I take those off and I now move on to a brief introduction of our special guest. Happens to be a good friend of both myself and Brian. And again, I know y'all are probably thinking, darn near everybody in Altadena is related, but he's actually my cousin as well now, officially, when I married his cousin, Kira, a while ago. So, with a mission rooted in faith, family, and finance, our guest, Ron Williams, shares his journey of leadership, legacy building, and empowering others to break generational cycles through economic literacy and mentorship. And with that, I'd like to introduce and welcome Ron Williams to the show. Ron Williams.
Yeah. Woohoo! Woohoo!
What's up, buddy? How you doing, man? Uh-oh. You're muted.
You're muted. We tried to unmute you.
Better?
There you
Yep,
go.
there
There
we
you go.
go.
What's up, man? What's up, fellas?
What's happening?
That's
Hey,
good.
man, you know how we do it. We got Dina back in the house again, even though you way over there in Timbuktucky.
Frisco, Texas.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
right.
All-
Frisco.
It's hot as all outdoors out here, man.
Yeah, you know
That
what's funny is,
reminds me. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I saw Guy Tori. It was a few days ago because obviously he probably didn't do it recently. And rest in peace to his mom who recently passed too. Big condolences to the Tory family. But a couple posts before, he was in Texas and he was I guess for a show, and he went to go get some steps in. Man, he came back in. He's like, man, it's hotter than, what do you call it? He called it hotter than slave booty. It's so hot out there. I think he turned around after 5 minutes, man. He came back, and Texas is ridiculous. Like I was telling you earlier, half the whole country is sweltering in like 90% humidity, with relative temps close to triple digits all across that half of the country, man. I don't
I
no, I
just came
feel
from
feel
there.
for y'all. Yeah, he was in Florida last
The
week.
worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's brutal.
standing outside and I'm just dripping. And I'm like, I didn't even know my pores work like that. I ain't never sweat like that before in my life.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. But what can you do? You know, you gotta make it work.
yeah. So we've been trying to get Ron on for a while. Brian has been talking with him because Ron is, he has a finance company. He can help you with insurance and just overall planning, right? But before we get into that, Ron, why don't you talk to us about your connection to Altadena and the Pasadena area?
Yeah, shoot, that's where I grew up. It's crazy because people don't know I was born in Baltimore, but when I at 3 years old, we moved. My dad
Dragon.
moved. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
There we go.
We moved from Baltimore to Palm Street in Altadena, where we live with Uncle Eddie until we was able to get our own apartment. So, and Altadena that's home. Farnsworth Park, playing baseball there, going up to Grandma and Granddad's house up in the canyon.
Oh yeah.
I mean, actually, I didn't know. Is that still up, or did that all burn down as well?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. You're talking about the Meadows, right?
Yeah, the Meadows.
Yeah, it's still going. It's still okay.
Yeah.
It's so weird that it didn't hit there, but it hit everything below it.
Yeah, it hit a few homes in Lavinia, right? But
Yeah,
but
like
most
about
of Lavinia is
10.
fine.
Yeah.
But your dad's old house
Gone.
on Loma Alta, all that's gone. Cheryl and Larry's house, gone. Just literally everything on Loma Alta from Lake all the way down to
I forgot Larry
Lincoln.
lived up there. I remember going up to that house.
Yeah, we used to live there. Shoot. All the way down to Lincoln, like 99% of the homes are gone. There's like a couple close to Loma Alta that survived. And it's, it's one of them situations you're like, why? How did that happen?
Right. You know what's crazy, man? I was thinking, like, why didn't I buy my dad's house at the time when he was selling it, right? Like, I could have purchased a house.
Yeah.
You kind of like, you don't think about it at the time, right? But let's say I did, that would have been my situation now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you would have had insurance, Mr. Financial Guru. So I don't think you really would have been sweating it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you'd be in a process where most people are at this point, talking about rebuilding, getting all that stuff. Marcus says, what's up? Says good morning to you.
Marcus Betts.
That's right. That's right. So, what was it? Well, let me go back. Who do you know? Obviously, hey, you have some friends and stuff, but I know your mom's house was affected. It still survived, but what happened with her home?
Yeah, so my mom took it really hard, just because at her age, to see, friends of hers that she actually lost in the fire. It really devastated her. And then, it's just, it's something that you didn't expect to see happen, but when it does happen to you, people deal with it differently. So she's able to move back in now. She got all the everything cleaned up and so forth. So she's back in her home, but living in a hotel for the last couple of months was definitely stressful. So, and then, I have good friends. Lil Ryan, I know his sister lost her house, and they lost everything. You know what I mean? So, but it's a lot of people, a lot of friends and family that we know that went through this.
Yeah, I mean, Marcus has been on this because obviously they lost their home. The home, with his mom, and then their the aunties, Paula and Vonnie and all them and everything. So yeah, I mean, between the three of us, we probably know close to like 70-80% of folks who lost something out there, or somehow like 1 or 2 degrees. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. What did you think when you came back? Because I know you came back a couple times and kind of saw the devastation. What was your reaction?
I thought like a bomb dropped on Altadena. I thought somebody dropped a bomb on it. I couldn't fathom how devastating that was. Only to see chimneys and safes, safe deposit safe. Standing still, right? But to see all that, it's never gonna be the same, right? All those memories we had, but just the fact that you just never know when something devastating happens, and that to that effect, like what happened in Maui, and now it happened to us, and I think ours was even worse than Maui's, in my opinion. So it's just sad to see, man. I mean, especially for the elderly, our parents, and for them, they that was their legacy,
Yeah.
So.
Definitely. And with that in mind, I know you were saying your mom kind of took it hard. Hopefully she is seeking some assistance, because there's plenty of help out there. And we try to provide some information as well on the show generally for that. But hopefully she's getting, she's okay. But some of the other people that you've spoken to, how are they doing in their recovery from what you have heard and talking with them? Like, are they, moving forward? Are they going to rebuild?
I think it's a little bit of both. Some are going to try to rebuild, those that have the ability to do so. Some are probably looking for, hey, I just want a couple of losses and move on.
Yeah.
Again, it's all mental now. Like mentally, how do you get past this, right? And are you turning to God? Obviously, in my opinion, because He's the one that's in control. Or going to seek counsel. Maybe go seek to speak to somebody that can help you. What you're dealing with, go talk to a professional, because how devastating it is, right? Mm-hmm. You know how we are. We don't like to ask for help, trying to figure out on our own. And but I think it's been kind of mixed. I haven't really connected with people in the last 60 days, so I don't really know. I haven't heard too much more what's going on. You guys probably know more than me.
Okay.
But I do need to start reaching out to people a little bit more and connecting again and seeing what's going on and what we can do to help. I was able to donate clothes to Ryan and his wife,
Oh, good.
Yeah, so I gave them, and then I was like, dang, I ain't got nothing to wear now. I did that in the winter, right? Now it's all outdoors. I have no polo shirts, anything. So,
oh, dang. Yeah, you didn't think that far in advance, huh?
I didn't think that far through. I was like, that wasn't the smartest.
Hey, but you spoke with your heart, and that was the important part right there.
Yeah, man, because we got to, bro. Like, at the end of the day, you got all these clothes in the closet and stuff, and like, man, shoot. When somebody doesn't have anything, when everything is gone.
Literally.
Like, come on, man. We can figure it out.
Yeah, we've, again, talked with Marcus many a times. He's come on and spoken about how he's felt. Brian has talked about it as well. And we've had many others talk to us, and a couple talk on the show. And it's tough. I mean, the shock of having lost everything, waking up, if you can sleep, because Marcus hadn't been able to sleep much at all. But, when you wake up and not knowing where the heck you are, that's got to be rough as well, right?
Every day for the first 30 days for me. Well, good luck. this ain't my place. And then I realized I don't have a place. I can laugh about it now because it's funny, but it wasn't then.
Yeah.
Right.
Especially because, again, it comes down to memories, things that, pictures and equipment and, things that are important to you that you have to start all over. And, you just didn't see it coming, it's such a shock.
Right.
So, when that happens.
No, you saw it coming. You didn't think it was going to reach at certain points, because I'm going to just tell you, I saw the fire start. I was at the Olive Garden in Arcadia. The transformer blew. I went straight home. I'm taking the back ways. When I came up Hastings Ranch to turn on Sierra Madre, I saw the Eden fire behind the mountain. I saw it started over there. I'm trying to rush home because it hadn't reached over there yet. So I knew it was coming, but I didn't think it was going to get all the way over to Lincoln. Right. So yeah, it was weird.
Well, because we've been through this before, right? I mean,
15 times.
Right? I mean, I remember last time when I was there, I think it was in high school, was my last time of seeing something of that magnitude where the whole city, was smoky. And, I didn't think anything of it. Like, all right, things on fire. But man.
Like most folks, let me grab a few things, let me break out for a couple hours, then I'll come back, everything will be okay. Right. That wasn't the case this time. That was not the case.
I grabbed my laptop and my hard drives, and that was it. I changed shoes because I was wearing Vans, and I put on my Nikes that had the better support. After that, I was going, I miss my Vans. Why didn't I keep those on? But it's funny. Even now, Jamal, I'm like, I got that device for.
Oh, you're like, nope. Yeah, now for your business, Brian had everything, because over the years you collect stuff. You know what you need. Yeah. You got rid of things. He had the latest, the greatest of everything that was needed with the drones and all the other stuff. So, and then everybody had their stuff.
Right.
So, yeah, it's devastating, crazy devastating. We're gonna quickly pivot to one of the primary reasons why we had you come on. Obviously, being an Altadenian, we love having you on talking about stuff, and we'll have you come on for a lighter show where we can start talking about some fun and crazy memories and what have you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you have your business that, it's called F3 Legacy. Tell us what the business is about and how you came up with the name.
All right. Well, I used to be working in gold and silver back in the day when I was living in Woodland Hills, and I started learning about retirement, a little bit more about retirement, where people keep their money, and I got introduced to the life insurance industry by a friend that said, "Hey, have you heard about mortgage protection?" And I never knew what mortgage protection was, but it's kind of like a accelerated life insurance policy to protect your home in the event of you dying or something happened, it'll pay the mortgage off, right? So I was like, all right, let me take a look at this, because I was looking for another stream of income, obviously. And then also I wanted to spend more time with the family, which when I was working gold and silver, I didn't have time to spend with family. Making good money, but you gotta pay a price, when especially living in California. So I didn't have the flexibility just to kind of go spend time and watch the kids grow up. It was, hey, I gotta go provide for the family. So when we moved to Kansas, I wanted to come up with a name to start. I wanted to start branding myself. And my wife said, well, why don't you come up with F3 Legacy, which stands for Faith, Family, Finance. So obviously got to put God first. Everything that's happened for a reason is due to God. That's the faith. I'm all about family, that,
Yeah.
I just, those are the best memories, the family reunion, spending time with, hanging out. I mean, we can talk to so many memories between the three of us. It would be, a lot of the stories to share of how we grew up in Altadena and Pasadena. And then finance, which I think we know, I think financial literacy is just really lacking with people, where we just didn't know what we didn't know. My parents didn't grow up having life insurance, right? Nobody came to them and sat down and said, hey, you need to get life insurance. Your kids need to have life insurance. That wasn't the case. Or where to put your money at? Do you put your money in a 401k or pensions or Roths accounts, right? Or index policies? We've never talked about compounding interest or anything like that.
Right.
So I wanted to really, really start becoming the one-stop shop for people when it comes to financial literacy, and educating and making sure you got all your ducks in order. Do you have everything in order? Most people don't. I don't care if you make millions of dollars or if you barely make $100,000. A lot of times you talk to people, they don't have everything in place. So True. That's where it's now, okay, well now we provide that. We provide everything. Does that mean I'm the expert at everything? No, but it means I have all the right people around me to help that one person make sure they have all their ducks in order. I was just talking to a friend of mine's daughter last night. One of my friends, good friend of mine I used to live with in Seattle, died unexpectedly of a blood clot a couple years ago, right? Oh, yeah. And before that happened, I had just met with him in Arizona. I was like, hey man, we need to get a trust put in place for you, right? And he's like, yeah, we're gonna get around. Now he's an attorney. So, he understands.
He knows
everything, right? Yeah. And you know how it is, man. You talk to somebody and it's like, you don't want to be overly aggressive to say, let's sit down and do it. But you want to plant the seed, say, hey, we need to get this done now, right? Mm-hmm. Well, came up short. Then fast forward, now the family, his daughters and stuff gets this money. And man,
what are they going to do with it?
One daughter that kind of, was able to take the right advice, and the other daughter didn't know what to do and blew through it, right?
Dang, already, huh?
And then the mom is struggling, his mother's struggling because of just things wasn't put in place. All because he just didn't have one simple trust put in place. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So that's how we came up. My wife gets all the credit. She came up with F3 Legacy. And then now it's just, just getting the word out and letting people know, what we do.
That's really cool, because I like the fact that you have legacy built in there, because it sounds like it's more than just a business, right? You are definitely trying to build a legacy. So you're helping the people now, so that not only so that the people that they leave behind are benefiting. Well, them too, because you're doing things to help them out while they're alive, but especially after they pass, their beneficiaries and family members that are left behind can actually be in a good position. Hopefully they're educated, and then they can pass that on. So you are definitely creating legacy. I love it. Yeah. So are you only helping individual families, or do you also deal with businesses and other organizations like that?
We do businesses as well. We don't just do families. I don't prejudge anybody, first of all. But I know that based on, the relationships that I've had over the years, the connections I have, we can help anybody. Okay. So whether you're individual family, middle-class America, or whether you're a business owner, entrepreneur, it doesn't matter. Right. I got such a huge network now that anybody that we sit down with and have a conversation, we can add value to that person, guaranteed. Okay. So that's really what my focus on. And you mentioned something about passing it on to the beneficiaries, which really I think the goal for me is not how much money you need to continue to make, is how much money can you keep?
Yep.
And then let's say my kids, something happened to me, they know now how to take what I left them and now continue to grow that, and not just be like, oh, well, let me go to spend on liabilities, right, rather than assets. Mm-hmm. And now they're just going to have the same track record that we have, right? Because we wanted to do better than our parents, right? And then we want our kids to do better than us, okay? So how are we really educating them to really understand where we're at today, how they should be prepared for, to continue to keep up with what's happening in the world that we're in? And to me, it's like we have to really start implementing different strategies, techniques, and education on where they should be looking to put their money, and like do we have land, right? Are we looking at the real true assets rather than what somebody else is telling us? So
yeah, great point. I'm glad you mentioned that. So before we continue, this is a question I asked a little earlier. So for the folks who are tuning in either live or watching a recording, The stuff that Ron is talking about today, he can actually help you in California. Okay, so if you're interested in any of the services that you hear, we have contact information on the banner. He is able to assist you, so feel free to reach out and notate the information or his contact data and reach out to him. We're going to get in some of the details of what he does, but I just wanted to throw that out there, and I'm going to say it a few times because he is physically located in Texas, but the stuff he can do, he can actually help you out here as well. And understanding folks in Altadena, it's kind of nice to have a connection from somebody who was from here, right? So with that in mind, what are some of the areas that you actually help people out? Go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, it just starts with just kind of figuring out, meet people where they're at. Do you understand how life insurance works? First of all, let's start there, right? And now I can say this, since I'm on this kind of platform, Black folks don't like life insurance for numerous reasons, right? But I think I was talking to a lady a while ago, and she was like, I don't want people to know I got $1 million on my head, and I had to think about that. And I was like, God, you're right, right?
That's a valid point.
That's a valid point, and then the other is when we was in our 20s and 30s, we didn't think that was going to happen to us. Like, come on, man. Like, to me, it was more important to watch DirecTV and watch the Cowboys play, right? And $500 a month on DirecTV than it was to have life insurance.
You need insurance just being a Cowboys fan, because y'all be on suicide watch anyway.
And even if you had it back then, it would be so much cheaper. Right. Later in life.
So, if you would have died after that Super Bowl that you didn't win, your family would have been okay, even if you didn't have a family yet.
But we'll see. We'll see what happens here these next couple of years,
Yeah, those are my words too, as a Raiders fan. So it's all good.
We've been 10 years not in the playoffs, so I'm standing strong. Steelers.
Well, you still got one more than us too, I believe. You're at 6 and we're at 5.
Yeah, right? But Tom Brady got 7 by himself, so we got to get 7.
Playing by himself, man.
Yeah,
Brady playing by himself.
Oh,
but no, so life insurance, I like doing policy reviews to really educate people, because sometimes people think they don't understand term versus whole life, right? Mm-hmm. And then sometimes a lot of agents that sell these policies, they don't really educate the client on really how it works. They're just looking to make a sale, right?
Yeah, most of them probably don't understand it the way they should.
Yeah,
right?
the way they should. Yeah.
They're just trying to get that paper.
Trying to get the paper, which, hey, I get it, but you're dealing with people's livelihoods. You know what I mean?
And lives.
And lives. And when we found out that Uncle Eddie had a policy that was an accidental and it should have been a term or a whole life, that was eye-opening to me.
Dang.
You know what I mean? And I was like, well, how can somebody this smart not know the difference between an accidental and a whole life, right? Yeah. So where was the miscommunication? Was he misled, right? Did he just not know? Was he told one thing and heard another? Who knows? But all that could have been prevented had you do your yearly policy reviews. Hey, let's just take a look at it. Let's make sure you have what you think you have. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people don't know that there's a way to eliminate debt. We have a debt-free life program that can help you get rid of all your debt, your mortgage, your credit cards, your student loans, your car loans.
Hey, y'all hear that, folks? You can get rid of all your debt. That should perk some ears.
And most people have debt, right? But some people are embarrassed to say, hey, I have this debt, or they figure, hey, I'm in my 50s and I didn't think I would be in this situation, right? But listen, man, everybody got a story. They got a testimony, but there is a way to get out, So we help people eliminate their debt, which that's really what I'm excited about. And then also estate planning, I talked about that. Do you have a trust? Do you even know how trust works? Or do you have a will, right? There's a difference. And, I mean, you guys, we talk about it, but we don't really implement it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
A lot
really,
of people know, but very few do.
so really, it should be this way. It should be you own nothing, right? Nothing should be in your name, but you have a trust that manage your businesses, and you manage the trust, right? And in that way,
control everything.
Yeah. So that way, Tyler Perry's situation, right? Somebody decides to sue you, okay, for whatever reason. They don't like the fact that Brian's a Pittsburgh fan, okay.
It's everybody.
You know, so now you're protected. You know,
Yeah. It's like I don't have nothing.
I got nothing. You know?
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Got nothing, man. You sue me all day, and this is what you'll get.
You know, and then when you die, then your wife or significant other, they can now take over, and they can be protected.
Yeah, because they then take control that you had.
Yeah. So it's just these are little things, you know. We gotta be more aware. Even what's going on with Bitcoin, right? I'm kicking myself because I could have got in Bitcoin when it first came out. I was selling gold at the time. I could have easily put $5,000 in, easily, without a problem. But I was like, no, you know, you don't need Bitcoin. Just buy gold and silver, right? Or I didn't know enough about it for me to talk about it.
You know who won on that?
Who?
OBJ.
Yeah, Mark. Oh yeah.
He took his salary, $750,000 in Bitcoin, and everybody bagged on him. Now it's double. It's worth double. 1.5 million.
Yeah, I'm in your shoes though, Ronnie. I could have got in like 08, 06 or something like that. And yeah, I mean back then too, you put a couple $100s in, that's gonna be millions at this point, because it's what 100 and I don't know, whatever it is.
I think it's
hundreds of thousands of dollars or something.
120,000.
120,000. You know, it took a long time, but still, it was worth everything.
But to get that high, did it really take a long time? How many stocks do that? No stocks do that.
9. It took 4 years.
Berkshire Hathaway did, but now that took a while, and he has a unique, or they have a unique method for growing their business.
His didn't even do that. I remember looking at Berkshire Hathaway back in '99, and it was $30,000 a share, and his other one was $5,000 a share. Now it's $100,000 a share, but that was 25 years ago. It took 25 years.
That's my point.
Yeah.
His is a perfect example that most people look at, right? He and Munger, but it took decades. I mean, multiple decades. Cryptocurrency, Bitcoin, man, that was just a couple decades, and here you go. It's ridiculous. It's out of this world. And for those who want to get involved, just my 2 cents. I have a little bit of finance background. You know, it's just like anything else. It's going to fluctuate. Don't expect it to jump to 200,000 in 10 years. It's going to take a little while to get to go up, and it's going to go up and down along the way. While you keep talking, I'm going to bring up your website. I'm going to bring up the services page, and you can kind of touch on some of these things as well, or see if there's anything you want to mention. So I have, well, it's pretty small. So you talked about debt-free life, estate planning, obviously life insurance, final expenses would kind of fit under that category as well. But I'm intrigued because you got long-term care, which a lot of folks, you know, are kind of in that realm right now, primarily for themselves or maybe even for their parents.
Yeah.
Disability, real estate. I mean, you got a lot of stuff you cover, man. This is amazing.
Yeah. Well, again, I got one thing for me. People trust me, right? And then when you have relationships with people that know how to flip homes, or you know, they have access to do land. We're also in the oil and gas space. You know, there's opportunity out there. Now, just for a disclaimer, I'm not raising any more money. Okay, so me raising capital days are gone. I do not want to raise anybody's money, especially people that I'm friends with or family with. Just so you know.
That can be sticky, huh?
Yeah, but if you're looking to piggyback off of, you know, people that I know that are in that space, then I can definitely get you to the right person and so forth. But yeah, we want to be a one-stop shop, right? And make it so that people are really understanding how everything works. I'm all about transparency, you know, like really pulling the curtain back when it comes to what you're getting yourself into. For example, solar panels, right? Everybody's talking about solar panels and how great it is, but then there's horror stories of people that shouldn't have solar panels, right? So is it a good investment or a bad investment? Well, you need to talk to somebody that really can break it down so you understand before you get involved. Same thing.
We had a solar expert come on one of our episodes and talk about that too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a great point. It's a perfect example.
Yeah. Yeah. You want to do that. Do you get it? Do you get long-term care or anything like that at your age? Well, again, you got to realize, I know people that put money in and they're spending all this money. They spent all this money, but they're not even going to be able to use it now, right? So same thing with 529 plans for kids. You say, oh, I'm going to save for my kids' college planning, do a 529 plan. Well, it's what society is telling you to do rather than you kind of knowing what's out there for you. For me, the opposite of that would be an index universal life kit policy for your kid, what we call a smart start. Anybody that's having babies, your kid can be a millionaire if you put your money into an index universal life, putting about $200 a month. By the time they're 21, that policy would be worth over $1 million, right? Or around 21 and 25, I would say. And now that's the good head start that you need for you to, my kid's gonna be an athlete, or they want to get married, or they want to do a quinceañera, whatever. Those are the things that you do that the people don't understand because nobody's taught them how to do this. You know what I mean? But yeah, so we have a lot of different pillars. I love the kids' college. I love really just educating people on compounding interest, make sure your money's doing that type of thing. And you got to be diversified too. So it's not, you don't want to have all your eggs in one basket. Don't overfund 401ks. Oh my goodness, that's the biggest one. If anything, people overfund their 401k, and it's just like you're just giving Uncle Sam all this extra money that you don't need to give.
That they benefit from far more than you do. So when you say don't overfund, and do you mean don't invest beyond the match that you get?
Yep, exactly what I mean. Yeah, if they're only matching 3%, then just put 3%. If they're only doing 6%, just put 6%. Don't put 13, 17, 20.
So what do you do with the remainder that you would have normally or thought that you were going to put in that 401k? What would your suggestion be?
Well, you got to look at their situation and figure out what are you trying to accomplish.
Gotcha.
Because really what it boils down to is, here's what I learned. Here's where the oil and vinegar comes in. You can't have debt and then save money, right? That's not going to work. So you got to pay off all your debt first, and then take this extra money now, and then start to really save for retirement if that's what you're trying to do. But you can't just say, oh, I'm gonna put $1,000 over in this 401k, but then I still owe $20,000 on this car loan. You see what I'm saying?
Oh,
and this is where we got to sit down and talk to people and kind of make it make sense, because nobody knows. Everybody's just trying to make money. We're not really trying to figure out how to save money.
Okay.
So
yeah, that makes sense. So it sounds like everybody, just like we do know innately, it makes sense that everybody's situation is different. So you really got to figure out what's going on. So that's kind of leads me to my next question, which sounds like is going to happen. In order for people to kind of get started, what do? You get a consultation, you set up a time to consult with them? Okay.
Yeah. Free consultation. I was always thinking about charging, because of my time, but at the same time, really it's earning people's trust. Right. Mm-hmm. And so it's now let's just sit down and have a conversation. Let's do a need analysis. Let's go over your situation as it stands now. I'm not going to judge you. My job is to help you. Right. And from there, it's making sure, what's going to be best for you in the event something does happen, because it doesn't necessarily have to be death. Right.
True.
It could be, like when I had that panic attack a couple of years ago. It was like that was a life-changing event, now and then with our friends and families, you're hearing all the time, cancer. My wife got cancer 2 years ago. Didn't see that happening. Right. I got people that I talked to that just reconnected, had a stroke. And they haven't even reached 50 yet. Husband had a stroke. Right. Yeah. So now you're disabled. You can't go make that type of money no more. Right. So when things happen, then that's what you got to look at. Or when we're talking about having all your ducks in order, who's going to do what? Who's going to have power of attorney? Or over you, a direct. What is it? Directive. Mm-hmm. Who's going to have a power of directive over you to say, hey, do I pull the plug or do I keep them in a coma for the next, however many years? You see what I'm saying? these are things that are very, very crucial when it comes to our I'm more about wellness than money, just to be honest now.
At this point, right? Yeah.
Yeah, we need to start talking about testosterone, right? I mean, wish somebody would have told me about that, or women going through menopause, right? When your wife's going through menopause, like, I'm hot, you hot.
Oh yeah, yeah. It ain't fun.
Like, she's always hot,
Right. I mean, I know it ain't fun for them, but it affects others too.
It does affect
The
others.
folks around them.
Yeah.
I wish there was more we could do for them.
Yeah, it is. So we need to talk about it now so that we can, for the younger people that's in their 20s and 30s, what they're about to go through.
Yeah. No, that's right. I like that concept. How are you getting the word out? Like, how are you getting your clientele? Well, anyway, I'll let you say it.
Well, what I need to start doing more and being consistent, mine is consistency. It's just posting on social media, doing things like this. That's why I decided to do so. I got to get back into hitting the streets and hanging out and networking, which I'm, stuck in a room working from home. So I'm always at the house.
Yeah.
I need to be out more, like as if I was in Pasadena. If I was in Pasadena, I would be out and about, right? That's what I did. So I got to do that more. I'm looking to maybe start my own show where I can just get on and talk about these things, just have conversations about what we are dealing with, right now at our age compared to what our parents were dealing with, in the 70s. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's really what I need to start doing more, and I will. I just got to get things in order and then start doing it too, because time is ticking, right? It's always better when they say do it now, don't wait.
And to that point, about doing things now, there's a lot of people who probably didn't have this stuff in place before the fires. Would you say that right now is the best time to really start looking at that?
Yep.
Obviously, they're figuring out the finances and whatever they need to do to rebuild their home, but they should probably throw some of those other concerns in there too and do better preparation overall. Does that make sense?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, and maybe we could talk about it more in another show as far as like, how they say, if all the what's it called, the system goes down, right? And we can't have no Wi-Fi or things like that, banking system, all that, right? All right, so what do we do, right? People may go in hysteria, people say, oh, that probably never happened. I don't know. We don't know what's going to happen. But if
fire was not supposed to happen, so
what's the plan, right? What's the rendezvous spot that people have to meet up with if they can't communicate with their family? Based on the fires that just happened in Altadena, if we had to do it all again, if the person that went through it, what could they advise us to have in place? Like, is there a bag that has clothes, food, right?
Go bag.
Yeah, go bag, right? Okay, something like that. Is there a drive or something on the internet that has all your pertinent information, your deed to your house, your will, your trust, your life insurance policy, your passwords to your phones, right? Is that something that's already there? So that way people are prepared, for whatever life may happen. You know what I mean? Yeah. But yeah, to me, that's important.
Cool, man. So I think that makes a lot of sense. What we'd like to do for sure is have you come back on and go into more depth about specific topics. And until you get your show up and running and you're fully doing that, man, you can have a special segment here, and it's like, Ron with F3 Legacy comes and raps in, about whatever the topic may be, right?
Absolutely. And again, if we want to do a Q&A, that's fine too. I'm open. Definitely, whatever value I can bring and wisdom that we can bring over the trials and tribulations I, have been through to get to where I'm at. I'm more to help and share. And if I don't know, I'll find somebody that does know. The questions that somebody has. Oh,
that's dope. So I know you have a lot of things on your website and different services you provide, but we've talked about something related to the Eden fire, the mental health aspect of it, but then also when, some people have a certain perspective about being in debt, about having a certain insurance amount that they're concerned that other people might know about. Do you have any sort of therapist kind of as part of the program to kind of incorporate us, helping people out mentally with getting their finances together? Because it sounds like it might be needed. And if you don't, is that something you would consider?
Yeah, it's probably something I want to consider. I don't have one. You know, mine is turning to the Bible.
Not a bad place.
Or people like Miles Monroe. If you guys don't know about him, I would listen to Miles Monroe on YouTube. He's good. John Maxwell's good. You know, but no, we don't have that yet. But it is important. The mental part is important. I think people don't really either pay attention to what's happening mentally, or want to address it and look for substance or look for a way to get rid of it. You know, but you know, hey, I got anxiety, I got depression, and you know, look for ways to kind of cope with it. But at the end of the day, everything starts up here, right?
Yeah, you're gonna have to deal with it at some point.
Otherwise,
you're gonna keep just popping pills or doing what have you, drinking something.
Yeah.
No, that's valid. What would you say to, if you have a message you want to say to your hometown, man, and the people? What you got to say?
Well, I would say this is the time to really pull together and support each other. You know, start really lifting people up that are making things happen, like you guys, and seeing what other people can do to help serve and help, right? So what I learned and what I was going through, or people are going through something, is that when you're going through something, it's better to go serve and help somebody else, right? And then that way, whatever stress you're dealing with, the endorphins that you're going to get from helping somebody else is far more greater than, hey, what's in it for me, you know, or how my bill's going to be paid. So I would say pull together as a community. This is the time to really, you know, not kind of distance yourself, but really get engaged and reach out and say, hey, what can we do to help? Maybe it's not financially, but your time, you know, or resources or people that you may know that have the things that help you guys and what you guys trying to do here. I love it, man. I'm mad I didn't jump on sooner. I know Brian and I have been talking, and again, procrastination. I should have jumped on a long time ago, but I'm here, and I'll be more than willing to do whatever I can to help you guys.
I think that's beautiful. You're muted, B.
D up here talking muted. He's throwing me under the bus.
I'm trying to change the format.
No, I said, I said, don't worry about the procrastination. You knew I was going to keep calling you every other month. I was like, hey, man, it's time. I mean, I just did that to Richard Bell and Tim Marks. I'm throwing y'all under the bus right now. So, yeah, it's time for people to come step up. We need the neighborhood people to come up and say something. It's not just about us and the people that have burned the fire, but Altadena is a legacy town. Yeah. You know, I've been here 50 years. I came when I was 8 years old. I've been knowing Ron since what, 86, 84, something like that. Right. I've known Jamal since he came to New York. But that was my coping mechanism. I was like, okay, I don't want to, this is going to mess me up. I vented, I cried, I did everything that first day. That night, what can I do to help somebody else? Because that was always what my father instilled in me. He was like, no matter what happens to you, you can always help somebody else. If you got 2 arms and 2 legs, help the person that got 2 arms. You know, my dad's blind. He helps everybody. I'm like, there's no excuse for me. So he just hit me up yesterday, Jamal. He goes, you know what would be a really great gift for me? And I said, what, Dad? He said, those Ray-Ban Meta glasses. And I said, yes, Dad, that would be a great gift for you. I'm going to get it. No, for real, because I'm about to cry. Because my father, he's never been able to see. But with all this technology, he's doing all this tech stuff. He taught me computers when I was 13. He's like, all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
Telling me what the future was going to bring. Now I have the opportunity to help him be able to see stuff, and it tells him what's going on. And this is a wonderful time. It's a wonderful time. So I'm sorry. I get a little emotional.
Yeah, man.
That's when it comes to my father, dude. It's like, that man's done more for me than most people have done for me. So I was excited about that. You know, he said, you know what? Yeah. And so now remember when yesterday was doing the way back Wednesdays?
Yeah.
First thing my father come on and get on the phone. What you know good?
Yeah, we're talking about old school slang, like from the 70s,
Right.
80s, and 90s. And we played. You remember Airplane, that movie Airplane, where that lady got up and started talking jive to those guys?
Well, leave it to Beaver's mom, Mrs. Cleaver.
Oh, that was who it was.
That was her. That's why I like. That's why I said she invited to the cookout.
That is.
Because you
funny.
never saw that side of her. That's what was so funny about the movie at that time.
Right. So we had some comments throughout the interview, Ron. Marcus said he loves the business name and the meaning. I actually watched your video earlier this morning when you explained how you came up with it on the on your website. It was actually really clever, and Chin, very smart woman, and I'm not surprised at all that she came up with that. You should redo the video. My 2 cents. I'm doing a Brian right now.
Yeah.
You should redo the video and allow her to talk. Have her say a little bit about, just a little something.
Yeah.
Man, just leave people alone, man. You don't need to be giving them advice about making their videos over again.
It'd be great.
No, we definitely gonna redo the video. We're gonna redo the website.
No,
too.
that's the inside joke.
Oh yeah, it definitely is inside joke. And yeah, definitely give Chin a shout out, man. I miss seeing you guys. And man, your kids are grown. I'm gonna quickly show the picture you have on your website, just so folks can see your beautiful family.
Me, Ron, and his son.
That's why I said
me, Ron, and his son hung out when I was out there for Joe Torre's thing. Oh, he was way bigger than that.
Well,
though.
his son is that's what I'm saying. His son is way bigger than that. He's in college now.
Yeah.
And his daughter is going into her senior year, you said?
Yeah, she's a senior. Yeah.
Man, beautiful.
I know, dude, it goes fast, man. Where did time go?
Right.
Yeah, it's getting more expensive. Dad, I need like these $5,000 cleats and
yeah, that part is insane. Yeah. Or I want to play in this club that costs, $5,000 for 4 months. And it's like, geez.
Right.
Yeah. When you were talking about debt, Brandon came up and said, I have debt.
Everybody got debt.
Exactly.
I don't know. I mean, if you own a home, that's debt.
Right.
And that's another thing too. Like one thing I learned, man, I was like, man, why didn't anybody really teach you about how the interest rates are on homes?
Because they weren't taught.
And it's so deceiving. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, you're paying 3.5% or 5%. Like, no, you're not. That's not what you're paying in the first 29 years, right? And most people don't know that. It's like, well, do the math. How much is going to principal and interest?
Yeah,
right?
It's compound interest, not straight interest.
Yeah.
And there is that distinction.
So how long remember
before the interest and the principal is even on a regular 30-year loan?
Oh man, it takes forever.
12 to 18
it's more
years.
It's more than half, right? It's like 18 to 20 years.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, it's like the vast majority of your payment is more towards interest up until about that 18th year.
Yeah.
And then you start paying more, or it's like almost even. And it's only in the last 10 years or so that you're actually really paying down your mortgage.
So but you can alleviate that by paying towards the principal only within the month on top of your interest payment.
Yep. You can. There's so many different ways
that we want to ask people, right? Because we thought, oh, I'm going to pay my house off, right? I want to pay my house off. Okay. Well, if you didn't have insurance and you went through what we went through, was it worth paying your house off? Because now it's more expensive to rebuild a house where some people can't. They don't have the ability to do so.
Yeah.
And
we had somebody talking about and when you talk about insurance, their homeowners insurance, and there's some particulars about that as well that people have to be conscious of. There's certain types of homeowners insurance. One that covers the complete rebuild. Some that just cover the restoring the cost of what it looked like before. I forget what the words were that Drazana, called it, but she gave us some gems in terms of things to look out for. So I'm sure just like she had those in that arena, you got some gems with the other types of insurance and other vehicles that you can actually utilize to get your finances together.
Yeah.
I want to invite folks to Ask some questions if you have anything for Ron. Sorry.
That's what we call them.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, I'm going back to Ronnie because I looked up all the Rons Williamses, and there's tons. So I was like,
Yeah, you got that kind of name, you can disappear in the cracks.
yeah, you could disappear.
That's good for if you're a criminal, not good for if you're trying to be branding. John Smith, there's 10,000 of them.
Yeah, what a common name, right?
No, but Brian Bacchus, easily to be found. In fact, my name I had my own name to myself. Exactly. I had my own name to myself for the first 30 years of my life. Then relatives started naming their kids Brian.
Oh, Lord.
But it's not spelled like mine. So it's Bryon. Some is Bryan. Some is Bryant. Some is Bryon.
Right.
Some ain't Brian. Yep, that's $119 a share for Bitcoin.
It's a cool
Was it
platform.
Bitcoin or Berkshire? Yeah, Bitcoin.
We wanted to come on here and bring you on here a long time ago so I could tell you this is how I wanted to set yours up.
Yeah.
But Ron was always like, I'm too busy.
No, I didn't say that.
No, that's not. I'm not interested in your life.
Your little show.
Unfrozen caveman lawyer. I don't understand you.
Well,
But the thing is, Ron, the whole point of this, having somebody else on, is to break the monotony of the seriousness of it.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to be at one with Dick Kevin. So today we're going to be talking to Muhammad Ali.
Facts.
Yeah, nobody wants to hear
seriousness.
Yeah, always. Now, you can have that, but you need somebody on there like me that's going to be breaking it up. Like, okay, he said a keyword, and that's all we have, folks.
Yeah, no, you're right. People, because when I talk to people, I ask them, I said, what do you do for fun? I ask every person that. And people are shocked because they're like, fun? What do you mean fun?
What is that?
Like, what is that?
Is that when you go to these conferences with all the serious financial people? And then I've gone to the IT conferences, right? I had to make suggestions. Like, can we not talk IT stuff at the networking part of it with the drinks? Because I don't want to talk about that. Talk about that all day.
Right.
So remember the ones I went to, Jamal, where they had the little train that takes us around, and that guy knows how to make a networking event fun. Exactly. They'll have these little tags under the chair. Oh, what's your number? Oh, you come over here and get a bag of $250, right? Big old satchel. It's got 251s in it, but it looks spectacular, right? And it's just all scattered in there. It's like you look like you just robbed the bank with a satchel. But the whole thing is, that's the way he wanted it. It made it fun. And he reaches out to me every year. And this year, I just haven't been able to go and get away and have fun because even though I'm jovial, even though I crack jokes, I'm serious about getting our town back. And I'm always trying to attend events. So I've blown off everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Because my whole focus is this. In fact, I've transitioned some of my IT clients to other people so that I can focus on this. We opened up an office in Pasadena. We're going to be there from Monday through Friday. And it's going to be the resource hub. And when you guys come out here, you'll be able to come there. We're going to be doing a podcast live from there. So we'll have guests come there. It's going to be fun. So when you come back out here, Ron, the first thing you're going to do is come up there and check it out. And you're going to check out our new technology. Oh, so Podge just gave a comment. You going to pop it up?
Oh, I didn't even see it. Hold on.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
And after that, he's going to...
That's Podge, man.
He's going to have to get ready for tomorrow.
So proud of you, Ron. You're always keeping the ball rolling.
Yeah, I love Larry, man. Larry's a good guy, man.
Now, Larry's one of those. The person that don't know how to have fun. He's always serious. I gotta get ready for tomorrow. I gotta get on. He don't relax.
All you gotta do is put a golf course in front of him, a cigar, and a adult beverage, and it'll be good.
Jamal, even when I went golfing with y'all, he still ain't relaxed. He hits the ball, he don't go his way, he walks off like he's on his way to get ready
Well,
for the ball.
that's golf, but yeah, that part is gonna happen. Yeah, but hey, look, I hate to cut it off. My kids are blowing me up because I gotta go pick them up from volleyball tryouts. Ron,
It's been
thanks
fun.
for coming on. Love you, bro. Hope you come back on. If you're still there, because I know you only had a little over an hour or about an hour, but if you're still here when I get back,
I got to get to work now.
Yeah, he got to get ready for tomorrow too. Him and Podge got that same vibe.
Hey, Shawnee says hi too.
Yeah, what's up, Shiny? What's up, cuz?
Yeah, that's what he was talking about yesterday. What's up, cuz? How you doing, young blood? You know,
Right.
when we can say that stuff without worrying about if you was a gangbang.
Right. Well, I'm out. I'm gonna go get my kids again. Thanks, Ronnie.
All right, thanks, guys.
And if you're still here, B, I'm gonna pop on when I come back.
Yeah, I might not be. I don't know if I can hold the fort down that
All right.
long.
If
We'll
not,
see.
peace, everybody. See y'all tomorrow. All right. Touch in and family. Hi, man. Peace.
All right, say likewise. All right, B.
All right, homeboy. I'm glad you finally came on, and you need to come back with some more good information. So these people, everybody needs help right now, and we're just trying to bring on people that can actually guide you in the future as well as right now. So Ronnie is one of those ones that I've known him for decades. He's always been a straight up and up guy. And he's been in this business for quite some time, so he knows what he's doing. So please, you got his information down at the bottom. Reach out, screenshot it, do what you need to do to at least get the advice you need to keep going for the future.
Awesome.
So, you got any parting words? Stay strong. Deuces. See you next time.
Oh, you know what I always like to say, and you can relate to this, is he who hesitates loses, right?
Yeah, well, you know that song, that's Frodini. He who hesitates is lost, and the price that to pay is called the cost. Don't get me started.
When opportunity presents itself, man, take advantage of it. Don't sleep on opportunities out there. So.
Right. All right. Well, we'll catch you on the flip side. And
congratulations again on the engagement, brother.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to get the problem is you can't do things by yourself when it comes to investment in the future. I mean, you can, but it's better off if you're with somebody that wants to be with you.
Yes.
That's the key. You can want to be with somebody all you want, but if their goal is to do something else, I mean, I only got 25, 30 summers left.
Yeah, who you telling?
I'm not trying to waste it with somebody who don't.
Yeah. Oh, you froze.
Want to be with me. So for all you right, y'all. We experienced a little bit of technical difficulties right here. I think it's so hot where I'm at that the camera froze up. No, my laptop froze up. And now I'm going back to check to make sure that the Instagram stuff is. As we didn't leave you. We would never leave you like that. So somebody comment and let me know if they can see me, hear me, and all that good garbage. And I see some of this stuff is still popping back up. So we're on the home page. But we were actually getting ready to end anyway. So Monica said dads are everything and so kind of give your dad all the love. Hey, man, that dude, if it hadn't been for him, look, if it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be me. Everything about me is my father. He taught me how to read when I was 2. Mainly so I could help him out around the house to read things on cans. He taught me how to read by putting alphabetical letters on the refrigerator. And the man was a great teacher. He worked at the Braille Institute for 20 years teaching people who lost their sight to be able to utilize sensory aids. Then he retired from there and worked for the Foundation for the Junior Blind over there off of Angeles Vista. And over there, Slauson and Overhill. And he taught the kids music. And he worked there for 20 years. So he retired from 2 different spots where he fulfilled his purpose. And he was appreciated because it's hard to learn how to do something from somebody who doesn't suffer from the same disablement as you. So somebody could come in there and say, well, you don't know how it feels. And he'd be like, okay. And then they later find out, because my father would never say, I do know, because I'm in your position. He said, yeah, you're right. I don't know how it feels. But then when they find out that he's been blind all his life, then they come back the next day and apologize. Because they realized, oh, how stupid was that for me to tell this guy that he doesn't know how I feel, or he is not in my shoes. And, I actually stopped doing that too. So when people say to me, you're not in the same boat as me. And, even though our houses could have been next door and burned down, I say, you're absolutely right. I am not in the same boat as you. Because I don't know what your boat is. And I wish I knew. My thing is going twice, so I can't mute. But the whole thing is, I'm just trying to make it better for everybody else, regardless of what happens. So we had a little glitch. I'm sorry, everyone. It's too hot where I'm at. We're going to be moving to our office soon. So my computer overheated. I can still feel it's a little hot, but I got the fan blowing on it now. It's really hot right there. I use this thing like a workhorse, and it sometimes needs a break. But we just wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that those events are going on. Please make sure you sign up to the ones that we mentioned, because if you miss the deadline, there's a certain amount of swag bags they're making, a certain amount of gift cards they have, and you're not signed up, you're not getting in. I'm just letting you know, because it's only going to be set up for people who are actually participating. And it's for you, but please, I get all these complaints from these groups. We never know when things are going to go on. Now, I'm gonna admit, I've been to some of the groups, and I go to mine where you see what you put in the group. I don't see any of you guys really looking at the podcast, but you're the same ones that are calling me up asking me what we're doing with the money. So from now on, you call me up asking, can we get a grant? I'm like, did you look at the podcast? Well, how many episodes have you watched? You're not getting something for nothing from us. We're working hard to give this to you. So if you can't show us the decency and appreciation and just watch a few episodes, you should be watching every day. We come on here every day to tell you what's going on in your own neighborhood that you live. I live all the way out in Santa Clarita. I'm 40 miles away. I got to drive to Pasadena every day just to find out what's going on or attend to things. And I get tired of sitting up on a soapbox telling you the same stuff every time. It doesn't make sense. So I'm not calling people anymore to tell you about things. If you don't watch, you're not going to know. Don't call me up saying, hey, what was that thing? I'm like, go back and watch. Because I took the time to be on here to show it to you. And you got at least the decency to go watch. That's it. You know, we don't sit up here and wake up to be your personal assistant afterwards. So with that being said, thank you very much for everybody that came on. Special shout outs to the people who were tuning in from Instagram and YouTube. And we hope to see you tomorrow, which will be our last podcast of the week. And it's usually to utilize announcements and cap off what we're going to be doing for the weekend. So between this weekend and next weekend, there's a whole bunch of things going on. We will actually have a booth at the event next Saturday that Lena Kennedy is actually co-sponsoring with a few others. And we hope to see you guys there. So as they used to say in old 80s rap, peace.